Hey, what's up guys, John here. Pending home sales just hit the lowest level in American history.
Pending home sales dropped 1.5% in October,
dropping to the lowest level on record.
So even worse than during the Great Recession.
This is also the 23rd straight decline in U.S. pending home sales. Pending home sales are down more than 10% below what they were during the great financial crisis of 2010. Now, many people think, hey, it's because everyone has very low mortgage rates, people don't want to sell, and people that, want to buy, they can't really afford to buy, or they're holding out.
The impact of rising interest rates on new mortgages has put home ownership beyond the reach for many.
That's only a small part of the equation. There's a much bigger story happening behind the scenes, and it's all held in the hands of Blackstone, KKR. I mean, you're looking at Starwood Capital, you're looking at the massive funds. They're sitting on the sidelines because a huge iceberg is coming at us. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is in this video. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's going on in the U.S. housing market. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item under credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com, book a free strategy session by clicking the link in the description below this video. And we'd love to help you. Love to see how we can go about helping you. Don't be that person that waits until January 1 to start the New Year's resolution. Put yourself in the strongest position possible. I personally think we're walking into a massive investing opportunity in 2024. Look at this. So refinancing. Many people would think no one's going to refinance at these rates. 92% of mortgages are below 6%. Well, refinancing is booming. Why? Why are people refinancing? Because they're getting pushed into a very hard corner. Most people that invested in real estate in 2021 and early 2022 thought we were going to go back to normal, 2018, 2019 type of normal. That's not happening. Instead, what's happening is insurance skyrocketing, taxes are going up, inflation is getting much worse, and job layoffs are now starting to become the new normal. And so with that, people are looking for ways to desperately access money. And refinancing activity experienced an increase too, with the refinancing index showing a substantial 14% increase from the previous week. This figure was also 10% higher than the same period last year. So that's where we're at right now. Look at what's going on with home inventory. This is unbelievable because we've never seen this before. If you look at 2016, right, walking into the winter, inventory fell. Right? 2017, walking into the winter, inventory fell. 2018, walking into the winter, inventory fell. 2020, 2019, walking into the winter, inventory fell. 2021, walking into the winter, inventory fell. And then 2021, or 2020, and then 2021, then 2022, walking in the winter, inventory fell. Now we're walking into the winter, and inventory is skyrocketing. Why is that? Well, because people know their situation. Everyone's situation is different, but most people's situation today is much more challenged financially than it's been in the past. And they realize they're sitting in this house, they might have a little bit of equity in it, they need to get out while they still can. And they're starting to list their homes. They're starting to try to access some of this equity. They're trying to find ways to make it. And when you look at how this whole thing's connecting, it's fascinating. Like Florida, for example. Florida, Texas, this is where everyone wanted to move. The cost of owning property in Florida and Texas is not cheap. In Florida, for example, many Floridians have seen their property insurance go 40% this year. 40%. Look here. Since 2015, this is national, 21%. But if you go down here, home insurance costs are soaring up 21% in a year, right? So, 21% a year, money.com. People can't afford it. They can't afford to stay in these properties at these interest rates today. On an 8% mortgage, let's call it 8% for easy math, 8% mortgage, you're looking at a $4,200 payment on a $450,000 purchase price with 6% down. How many people can afford a $4,200 payment? Not many people. So if you look at what Jeff Bezos is doing, you look at what a lot of these very wealthy individuals and institutions are doing, it is so clear that we're walking into a massive real estate rug pull in the U.S. economy. Jeff Bezos-backed real estate company is launching a new fund to acquire more single-family homes across America. You look at Blackstone, they just raised a $30 billion, $400 million real estate fund. That's right, $30 billion, $400 million. Where are they going to invest it? They're going to be mainly investing in rental housing, hospitality, lab offices, logistics, right? Rental housing is This is a large block of their strategy, and it always has been. You look at the Great Financial Crisis, they founded Invitation Homes, which purchased over 80,000 properties at rock bottom prices. Now they're raising the biggest real estate fund in American history, world history. You have to look at why. They're going after housing. You think they're going to buy homes at these prices? No, they're not going to. They know that home buyers, they can't afford to buy. And they know there's going to be more and more and more home sellers, and we're walking into a wave of distress. Look at Starwood Capital, right? Starwood is starting to pitch new distressed real estate fund. And Starwood Capital, I mean, you look at Starwood Capital, they just purchased 6,400. They own 6,400 multifamily properties. So there's rumors somewhere around 170, 180,000 houses, housing units, including apartments and single family homes combined. This is what they own. Total portfolio, $240 billion in assets. They're getting ready to raise a distressed real estate fund. You look at where consumers are. Many consumers purchase their properties in 2020, 2021, right? The average consumer stays in their home for 8 years, right? So, and that was based on former data. Today, people can't sit still. So you're going to start seeing more and more and more people wanting to sell their properties. But when you look at the facts, they're saying 40% of U.S. single family homes will be owned by investors in 6 years. 40% of them. Right now, it's currently 5%. So you can imagine the 800% increase what that is going to do to America. And 40% of Americans, 40% of U.S. mortgages originated at the height of the market when interest rates were near zero. So you start to look at how this whole thing is going to basically form so perfectly for investors. That's why if you are there thinking, maybe we're going to go back to a really easy soft landing. It's not. It's a rug pull. It's a rug pull in the middle class. That's what's happening right now. It's a rug pull in the middle class, and we're going to see a surge of home inventory to the likes of which we've never seen before. I think one really, really big push towards this surge of inventory is going to be retirees on fixed incomes, because 34% of all owner-occupied homes are of residents 60 years of age or older. That's a big number, and half of which have already taken early retirement during the first wave, have already fallen into poverty. So you start to look at this. You have all these people highly leveraged on their properties. You have all of these people that moved, relocated from LA, San Francisco, New York, and they moved to Florida and to Texas thinking, hey, everything's going to go back to normal. Now their boss wants them back into the office, right? They're going to be like, their boss either wants them back in the office, they want to move back just for other reasons. They're sitting in their homes, they're wondering, is this going to stay like this for a while? Am I going to be here now? A lot of people are saying no. A lot of people are saying, I can't afford to be here. I have to downsize. I have to reduce my expenses. And that's why I believe we're walking into a situation here over the 2024 and 2025 in which we're going to start to see so much capital being allocated into single family homes and multifamily properties and land and real estate. They're looking at the value of the dollar continuing to fall and looking to hard real assets and the income that can be achieved through them as something that can't be duplicated almost anywhere else. And that's why you're seeing the smartest, wealthiest people all moving into one asset class, that's rental housing. What do you think of this? What do you think of the odds of this? Home inventory skyrocketing, home sales hitting the lowest level in history, and pending home sales hitting worse than the Great Financial Crisis, with refinancing happening at these rates. Refinancing skyrocketing at these rates. Drop it below. I personally think we're walking into the final inning for most homeowners. Most homeowners are not going to be able to hold on. Most homeowners are going to be forced to sell to these large-scale institutional investors. And I believe if you are a renter right now, it's probably a good thing to be a renter right now because you're renting for half the cost of owning. But you ultimately want to accumulate as much money as you possibly can and put yourself into a position to buy your own property, own your own house. Ideally a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex where you have some income coming in from those other units. But put yourself into a strong position, because the last thing you probably want to do is rent from this guy, right? Or maybe this guy. Not that against them, but they're there to make money, right? They're there to extract as much capital out of their customers as possible. And that's exactly what a renter is to them. It's a customer. Nothing more, nothing less. Drop below. If you want to fix your credit, you want to position yourself maybe to buy your first home or buy a rental property, 2024 is going to be a massive, massive opportunity, massive opportunity coming for real estate investors in 2024 and 2025. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, a negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. We'd love to help you, and see you in the next video.